From the MZ Studios Dallas Virtual Studios in cyberspace, this is Deconstructing Dallas. Greetings and a very happy and belated 2021 to all of our loyal listeners out there. This is, of course, Ryan Trimble, your host, joined today by the new and improved Shawn Williams. Shawn, good day, sir.
Hey, Ryan Trimble, belated Happy New Year to you, as if I hadn't talked to you all month, but I have not talked to our listeners. Happy New Year to each and every one of you. It's exciting to be back. Man, we've been really busy so far this year, but I'm glad we were able to take a little time out to get back to our listeners and our podcast.
Yeah, thank you, everybody, for your patience. And Shawn and I, we've had big plans, and we're finally, at long last, putting them into action with a new episode to fill that void in your life.
Yeah, I mean, you know, man, this is February now, and so I guess would this be our fourth season of podcasting?
Happy fourth season, Shawn Williams. Yes, exactly. It's amazing. I hadn't thought about that. It's all such a joyful blur, and it's a pleasure, to work with such a professional like you. So, congratulations on the embarking on year 4 here, and thanks to our growing body of listeners for sticking with us. Like we were talking about, January kind of flew by. Shawn, you've had some life things happen though to you that's kept you kind of busy.
I have been busy, and I guess it probably would not be a secret to anyone on the social media, but for anyone who is not on Twitter and following us, even though we give our Twitter handles every show, I did marry at Dominique P. Torres on Twitter. And so, we were married on December 27th, and man, it was a great ceremony, a small ceremony. And, you talk about life changing. I mean, it has been a month already, and we are very, very excited. One of our listeners from way back in the day, Ryan Trimble.
That's right. I remember giving her shout outs, and now looking back, I'm thinking, maybe I was being used as an instrument. Yeah. But nonetheless, congratulations. The Trimbles enjoyed the webcast of the ceremony. The comment was made in our house that Dominique looked like a snow queen princess. So congratulations.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
And for anybody, again, you can go to my Twitter page. You can go to Dominique's Twitter page, Dom in Dallas. But I won't give away the secret to our listeners, but I will say that she was very creative in the cake that she used on our wedding day, and it was really, really a lovely, lovely sight. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate our team at Alameda and we got so much love on social media.
Yeah.
On Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. It was a difficult time to be planning something like that. We just had a few friends and family that were able to witness that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to share it with a lot of our friends and extended family. We were engaged during COVID as well back in May. So, hopefully we'll be able to get together with everybody and celebrate, but we are thankful that we had a chance to share our love with as many people as we could through the interwebs.
Yeah, man, I'm very, very excited for you. So look forward to celebrating you all in person. Another thing that happened, you're studying again. So you're married and you're studying.
And it's a lot going on over here, Ryan Trimble. If I can confide in you, there's a lot going on. But I'm excited though, because, I'm able to utilize the services of one of our clients, the University of North Texas at Dallas. and I am a aspiring master's graduate. I am a student there in the Master's of Science in Public Leadership program. Really excited about that. I'm about 3 weeks in now, and the University of North Texas Dallas has been something I've been really passionate about for over a decade
since
now.
The inception, I think, right?
Yeah, since it started, and so it really is coming full circle, literally, to be able to take classes and be part of the public leadership program there. So I'm really thankful for that opportunity, and thankful to be able to support one of our clients.
Yeah. Well, congratulations, and if I need to proof any papers, you just let me know. I'm here for you, pal. Speaking of clients, we're excited today to be joined by Luis Briones. He is the Texas Public Policy Director for Airbnb.
Ryan, we were both talking about Airbnb, a former client and now a present client for Allen Media, and just how much we enjoy the platform. And, during the pandemic, I can tell you, I had an Airbnb booked in Denver for May.
Man, I remember that. Yeah.
For May, yeah. And, once March came, we had it all laid out. It was downtown, and we're going to get to go play. Yeah. But, for just like many people, our plans changed, and we've been unable to do any travel like that. But I love the platform, and I'm really excited to get to talk to Luis today.
Man, I love the platform too. I've had nothing but great experiences with it in my personal travel. Lauren and I have, in our with less kids days, we traveled a lot more and we stayed, but also with kids. I mean, I remember going to a wedding in Austin, and we took Tabitha and loaded up my mom and mom and Gigi and granddaughter got to hang out at the Airbnb, and we went to the wedding and had a great time, and it worked out perfect. And we got to stay in a cool part of town. And so it's a ton of fun, and it's a great way to see a city and go to restaurants you may not have gone to had you not stayed, in a neighborhood. So it's a great platform. It also, I remember, early in COVID, daydreaming of going to Maui and going to all these beaches and so on.
This is supposed to be our year, by the way.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right. I haven't hit print on the T-shirts yet for the Trimble Williams luau shirts, but stay tuned. But yeah, man, it's travel is really important, and I'm looking forward to some meaningful travel, and so looking forward to jumping into this interview with Luis.
Well, many of us know someone who's stayed in an Airbnb, but not many of us know anybody who works at Airbnb. So it's going to be really cool getting to talk to Luis. So when we come back, we're going to be talking to Luis Briones, Airbnb Texas Public Policy and Government Affairs Director. So hang with us through this break. Deconstructing Dallas, Shawn Williams, Ryan Trimble. We'll be right back. Deconstructing Dallas, Ryan Trimble, Shawn Williams. Shawn, very excited today to be talking with our friend Luis Briones. He, of course, the Texas Public Policy and Government Affairs Director for Airbnb. Luis, welcome to the show.
Hi, folks. It's a pleasure to be on. Thank you for having me.
Well, we are certainly glad to be talking to you today. Now, you have done work for Airbnb all throughout the Americas, but you are a Texan. Texan at heart. Tell us about yourself and your family, and then share with us a little bit about your experience in Dallas.
That's right. Yeah, I grew up in South Texas, near McAllen, Texas, which, depending on who you are, you might have or might not have heard of. But it's probably as far away from Dallas as you can be, distance wise. I think 500 miles or so is the distance between the two cities. But yeah, I grew up in South Texas. My parents moved there from northern Mexico, so I had a pretty sort of interesting upbringing between, two worlds, Mexico and the U.S. Um, and as you mentioned, it's been amazing to be able to work at this company at Airbnb, because I've had experiences working on this kind of stuff across the world, in Latin America, in the Caribbean, some exposure to some European issues as well, and on our work over there. Um, Dallas and Texas, and being back home and so to say, and working on these issues here is really great, because most of these places I either grew up visiting and or getting to know, and now I'm getting to know these from a different perspective. It's been amazing to sort of get to meet all the different stakeholders in Dallas. We have an amazing cohort and group of hosts in Dallas, that are just really, sort of the exemplary residents and citizens of a city, as you would expect. So it's been great to sort of get the chance to do this work here in Texas now.
Luis, you talked about being from Texas and being back in Dallas, but I want to talk about your experience working in Dallas with Airbnb since you've taken on this role, and what's your experience been like in Dallas, and also do you have any stories or anything to share about working with the hosts specifically in Dallas area?
Yeah, I mean, one thing from the very beginning is I wanted to in this work. I wanted to connect with our hosts. They are sort of front and center in the folks that we keep top of mind, as we work through the issues in the different cities that we work. And so I actually was able to connect with a sizable group that is already sort of very active in the Dallas scene. They have done such a great job of just sort of getting all the hosts together and exchanging information, whether it's best practices on how to host, and or how they can become more active in their community and just be an integral part of their community. Through that group, I've gotten to meet quite a few hosts with very different perspectives on sort of what it means to be, an active member of their community. I have to say, growing up in McAllen in South Texas, like Dallas has always been a large city. And it wasn't until I started like exploring the city of Dallas that I realized just how large and just how different the experience in different parts of the city are. And so I've got to meet some interesting folks, hosts in sort of like the West Dallas area, who the Oak Cliff neighborhood, so to say, and the areas around there. There's not a lot of existing infrastructure that can welcome guests. So they've really gotten a kick out of welcoming guests who would otherwise may not stay in those neighborhoods, and explore that part of Dallas, and sort of showing them around, and sort of giving them that perspective. And then you have, so the downtown area, where I feel like, when I first started going to Dallas, to me, it seemed really exciting. And this is, let's say, back in 2013, 2014, there was a lot of change there, and some in the neighborhoods around downtown Dallas. And, you get very different perspectives for what it means to live and sort of breathe Dallas. And something that I've really seen from the hosts is that they sort of play into those strengths of how diverse the city is. And I think it's a great thing for guests coming in to really, be able to see the city through the perspective of those hosts.
Yeah. Now, Luis, one issue that always kind of pops up, at least in when people are talking about short-term rentals, is party homes. They seem to catch a lot of the headlines in cities across America. So can you tell us, is this a real issue and something that neighbors and neighborhoods should be concerned about? And then if so, what actions is Airbnb taking to take care of these neighbors and neighborhoods?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, what I would say is that the vast majority of hosts, not just in Dallas, but around the world and in the country, are very responsible, and they do all they can to try to minimize these disruptions in their listings. You have to see it from their perspective. These are folks who are stakeholders, who are neighbors, who, are local, in this case, Dallasites. And so they do not want this activity on the platform, and neither do we. So we've done a number of things, to sort of combat this issue. I think one of the realizations that we all came to as a result of the pandemic and sort of bars and clubs being closed is that